Good afternoon. It's Saturday afternoon, and I am back. It's Gwen with Crafty Lady Designs. I've come back to do a flip through. I indicated just the other day on my Hostess junk journal flip through that I had completed an altered book, and which I have, and I had completed the book. I hadn't completed the cover. Uh, the book is an altered book. I bought it at thrift shop for about $1.50, I believe. It was originally the Caine Mutiny. You can barely see the writing. I had problems with the spine, and I rebuilt the spine because I wanted to use it. It wasn't in real good shape. I virtually sanded off the book. You can see this stain. I sanded it off, and then I used some distress inks on it, kind of sanded around the edge. The only embellishment I put on the front was this plate, the book plate, and it says Journey. I don't know if you can see that real well. There, Journey on the book plate. Uh, it is 4 signatures. There are, uh, oh dear, 4 signatures. There's 8, 32, 64 times 4. There's quite a few pages in it. And that doesn't, I mean, that's just the coffee dyed paper. It is all coffee dyed paper with additional um, embellishments and inserts and etc. I have had some little uh, ribbons and various things that throw through the top, and I also have it secured with coffee dyed uh, seam binding. So let's go inside. I really, I really enjoy uh, making the altered books. I've made several now. I have gutted this book. I've gutted it, as I say, this is the original book. It's got a little thing here. I secured the spine with Tyvek and put a piece of chipboard, and you can see a little mark there where it had separated, but that's okay. There was an anchor here. This had, kind of well, lost its print per se, and there's a little place here. I rebuilt the spine with cardstock and Tyvek, so it isn't going anyplace. I've made it really secure. So let's go inside. Well, the book size, let me measure it real quick for you. That's because I quite frankly forget. It is 5.5 wide, 8.5 tall, and the spine is 2 inches. 5.5 by 8.5 by 2 inches. Let's go inside. I will turn it around. I used Tim Holtz's paper collection, and forgive me, but I forget the name of it. I shouldn't, but I do. On the inside cover, and I also, this is a hand sewn 5-hole pamphlet stitch. I hand sewed the signatures into a spine, and then I inserted it onto the original spine. I did not sew through the book. The inside cover, I've made a double pocket, and in that pocket I have some tags and various things. The pocket, I don't know what to say about the pocket. Yvonne made these pockets, and they're out of envelopes, and I may do a tutorial on it my way. These were inspired by her, there's no question about it, but I did make them a little bit different than she did. So it's a double pocket, and I enhanced it with some lace. I covered it with some book page. I made the flower, and then have I think it's Tim Holtz underneath, and then I sewed. I don't know if you can see, but I sewed all around the edge, and then I did some stenciling on top. I just have some memorabilia or some uh, cards put in here. This is a layaway card. I got this from um, oh, Denise's store, And then these are just little from Tim Holtz's paper line. There's some tags here and there. This is just a tag that I put some lines on so you could journal on. All of the signatures are encased in cardstock. And these are, as I say, Tim Holtz's. So the first signature on the very first cover, I have a paper clip that I made, and these are out of the Caine wrappers. I still haven't gotten used to my new setup here. It's upside down. And then I just embellished them with some lace and a butterfly and a flower, and it hides it. I love the way these are done. This was not my idea, and I think a couple of flip throughs ago, I indicated who was the who inspired me to do this. And as I say, I start all of my signatures virtually the same. There's a doily and a piece of calligraphy paper. The first page I have stenciled with the Tim Holtz stencil. Now it's not the complete stencil, it's not supposed to be. I stamped a little bird down here. All the paper is coffee dyed. And there are 8 sheets of coffee dyed paper. So if you multiply that, you get an idea. And then there's various other papers. This is a hotel register. Oh, I love this. They were huge. I ordered these online. And forgive me, I don't have who I ordered. They are hotel, and they're huge. They're great big long sheets. So I cut them in half and fourth and etc. And they are all original. This is not a copy. This is original. I did do a little stenciling down here, but they are just, I love them. And they're on the back as well. You can see the signatures of the guests at the hotel. Another piece of the paper. This is a pocket that I made, and this is made with it was inspired by Wendy's journal. Wendy, hello Wendy, I'm sorry. They're life cards, project life cards. And so I took 2 of them. I took one, cut it in half, and then covered them both with designer paper. And this is Edith Holden's book paper. It says June and some script. And in there I made a tag. Now this tag I made, I bought this paper, and I think at, I can't remember, either Michael's or Hobby Lobby, doesn't matter. It is on a roll. It was ultra thin. I think it was Hobby Lobby in the sales section for $1 or $2, but I love it. It looks like the marble dyed paper that's inside books. So I took it and I took a file folder and cut it in half, and I covered the whole file folder. As I say, this paper is very, very thin. And then I cut it down into tags and made a tag so you could journal on the back. So that goes in the pocket. Let me get it in the pocket. There we go. Well, it goes in the back. You've got access to a pocket in the back. Well, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's pocket's too small. And then we have another card that came from something I have, and I think some of this is from Tim's new line that goes in here. And then here's another one of the little tags that I stained, and then I stamped a little bird, and it fits down in there as well. This is coming loose. I better fix it. This is a book page. It is from an old dictionary. Now this is a lightweight, printer weight, and lighter than printer weight. I think it's lighter than 20 pounds. Brown paper that I was gifted from Katharina. I don't know where she is. She has not been back. She moved and relocated, and I do miss her. But she gifted me a box of oh, supplies and memorabilia because she had used this paper. And I've seen it used several times, and I couldn't find out where to find it or etc. So I emailed her and asked her, where I could find the paper, and she sent me a box full of supplies and gifted me with stamps and on, and a whole like a fourth of a ream of this paper. Now, I still don't know where she got it or anybody else, but that's okay. And then I stenciled on top of it, but I absolutely love it. It is thin and fine, but it lends itself to the premise of the book. This is just a page, and I took an old napkin that's been coffee dyed, and I put it around the page like so, and then I put a flower on the front of it. This is just a blank page. This is the back part of a ledger, or the front part of a ledger, I'm sorry, stenciled on it. This is just ledger that I did do some coffee dyeing. This is a digital stamp that I made. Well, it's not a digital stamp. It's a quote that I copied off, and then I ran my paper through it, and it says, "Difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations," and the author was unknown. And then we go on, and there again, there's the back, another piece of the paper, the brown paper with a stencil. This is the center of our first signature. Now, this paper is the Tim Holtz paper that they call glassine, and it, in my opinion, not the glassine that we know, and they no longer make it. And I bought every pad I could find, and it's different. It's a heavy paper, uh, and there again they call it glassine. But so I ran this through this, not a distressing, but I ran this through uh, embossing folder and embossed it on both sides, which gives it a little. Now you can seal this up, whoever ends up, because I'm going to offer this for sale on my capturedonpaper.com. You can seal this up because I've done nothing with the ties, or just leave it as is. And then we're going to start on the back part of the first signature, and there's the back part of the brown paper with the stencil. I've left a lot of paper. Now this is a digital stamp that I downloaded. I think this is or I copied it, scanned it, or it's one of my downloads, and I digitally stamped it on the page. It's a bird. I love the digital stamps and just learning how to do that. Here's the other piece of the paper, the ledger paper. Of course, this is blank. Now, this is a Rita Donnelly little flip-out pocket that you can journal on. I've stenciled on it, and it correlates with the stencil here. And then this is just one of Tim's little cards that I've stuck in there. And here's the back part of the little brown paper. This is the back part of the dictionary, and more blank paper. This is the back part of the hotel ledger. Oh, it's just unbelievable. And then this is the other side. Some more blank paper. Here is the back side with the calligraphy paper and the napkin, and then the back folder. This is our second signature with also a paper clip that I made with the coin rolls. And this has lace and flower and etc. All of the beginning, and this is Tim Holtz's paper. This is the second signature, and all the signatures, as I said, are encased. And so each one of them have a paper clip on it. And then all my, and I've mentioned this if you follow me, all of my pages are virtually laid out the same. They're not all embellished the same. I've added various pockets and such, but they're all laid out the same with the doily and the calligraphy paper. And here's blank. There's a lot of blank. And here's another hotel ledger paper, which is virtually like the first one. Come from the same line. This is a pocket that I made. It's just a pocket. There's nothing in it right now. I may add something to it. I think I forgot, quite frankly, but it is a pocket. Here's another piece of the brown paper that I stenciled on. There's another piece of dictionary. This is a pocket. This is a Rita Donnelly pocket. Now, what I did, it's her premise. And what I did, I took a piece of book paper and covered the outside, and then I sewed all around that with a zigzag stitch, and then I added the flower. I made the flower, and then it has some cheesecloth behind it, but it is Rita's design. This is just a card, one of 10 that I put in here. Now, this is a little tag that I made. This tag is a design. This tag is a graphic 45 tag. It's the ATC size, and I have the die. I bought the tag, and then I have the die that cuts out the a designer paper that fits perfectly on here. And the reason they did that, people were trying to make their own, and then this grommet is a different size. I think it's a 3/8, I think. But the upshot is nobody had a punch that was the right size. And then I used some sari silk, and then this is just a little tag on a garment pin, and it just says number 1. And this fits in there as well. I made a whole bunch of these one day. I bought also the G45 tags are in different sizes, and they also offer the dies to cut the designer papers to put over it in the various sizes as well. Here's the little brown paper that Katharina gifted me. More. Here's another ledger piece. And of course more, and as I say, I left a lot of paper. Here's the inside of our signature with, again, the Tim Holtz paper, and I also embossed this with an embossing plate. It's different than the other one. I think I did 2 the same and this one different, or two the same of each design. Of course, that's the ledger paper. Here is my little froggy on a bicycle. It's loving. And you open it up, and then of course here's another brown paper. All this paper is coffee dyed. It's just, I love it. This is a digital stamp that I saved and put on here. Sorry, I forget where I did get them. I only got 2 or 3 just to try it, because I just started doing this and I really like it. And then here's the other part of the dictionary. We have plain paper. We have another little brown paper. Plain paper, plain paper. And then here's the back side of the hotel ledger. Oh, I just love it. I just love it. I have to get some more. I forget where I got it, but I'll look it up. And then we're back to the back part of the calligraphy paper and the doily, and there's the back side of the second signature. This is the third signature with the little paper clip with a bird. It has some lace. It has just some fabric on the back with some cheesecloth, and this fits on just like the others on the front of the third signature. Tim Holtz paper. There again we have the doily and the calligraphy paper. And then we have this. This is just stamped randomly with my script stamped. And we there again have, and this I just stamped on the hotel register at the bottom with the script stamp. There's not much on the back of this one, so you could journal on the bottom of that one. And so then we're back to just plain paper that you can journal on. This is another part of the book of the dictionary. Plain. Here's another brown paper. I love the brown paper. I don't know where she is. I really miss her being on, and she relocated, but I don't know. This is also a digital. Now this is not a. This is a. I don't know. It's Artie Mays or Tsunami Road. It's one of the downloads, digital downloads that I bought, and this is one of the pictures that I copied and pasted and saved and printed on the coffee dye paper. So it's not a, it's, I guess kind of a, well, it's not really a stamp per se. Of course, here's more of the brown paper. Here's more of the coffee dye paper, and it says, wishing you all things fabulous. And then here we have the center. Now this is also embossed with an embossing folder like the others. And then this is a pocket that I made just with using a card that I think was one of Tim Holtz's, and I just, you know, have used this, and I've stamped on the back using the corrugated stamp that I've made from cardboard. That goes in there. This is just one of Tim's tag per se. This is a bingo card. Oops, that goes in there. Just some ephemera. And this is a piece of cardstock that it looks like a ledger paper that I just cut down and made. It had two sides, and I think it's Tim's. And I made a tag, and then on the tag I put a metal clip that is his as well at the top, and this fits down in like so. And we turn the page. We're back to another brown page. This is a quote. I'll read it first. Young fades, love droops, the leaves of friendship fall. A mother's secret hope outlives them all. By Oliver Wendell Holmes. Love. So I just printed that off on the. No, this is. Calligraphy paper that you buy in the area where you're going to do your resumes or your thesis or whatever type paper. This is just I just stamped on this. It's a ledger piece, and then we're back to just plain. We're back to another brown that's been. And here's another. This just stains so pretty. And then we have another pocket, which is part of one of Tim's, part of the collection that I used. And there again, I've just used one of Tim's cards out of his pack, his new, I don't know how new it is, but I have distressed and made a guest check with one of the Graphic 45 tags on it, stamped a bird on it. Well, I covered it with Timmy's paper, and then I stamped a bird on it, and then used sari silk up here, and then this is just a garment pen with a little bead on top of that. So it's just, and then the guest check wasn't real heavy, so I adhered it to a piece of craft cardstock to make it a little more firm. So this fits. This is just a tag of Tim's, and then this fits down in like so. I'm losing. Okay. Then we go on. Here's some more of the hotel register, and this is just bull paper. This is the end of our second signature. The end of our third signature. I apologize. Did we miss a signature? Well, if we did, no. Did we miss the second signature? No. Well, we're ready. We're ready for our fourth signature. And there again, I have um, a paper clip that's been enhanced that fits on here on Tim's paper. And there again, it's virtually the same, laid out the same, unless we have any. I just stamped across that with a little decorative stamp. We have the hotel register. I cut that hotel, it was big. I mean, 18 inches long or something like that. And the big old hotel register books. I don't know if you've ever seen them or whatever. I certainly have 100 years ago, but I cut it in half. I cut it way down, quite frankly, and I got quite a bit out of one sheet. This is like a little library pocket that I made, and then I just stamped across the bottom. And this is just the pocket, and then you could put something in the back or in here. And this is another metal clip, and this is just a little brown tag with some stamping on it with the line, so you could write with a little Tim Holtz miniature paper clip. I lay them out the same, but I try to embellish each signature a little different. And then sometimes, like the pockets, here's another book page. Here's another brown paper that I just stamped on. I try to embellish them a little different, but yet keep them correlated. This is my stamp, my French stamp, Rita Donnelly pocket. I stenciled on it and I made the flower, and then I just added this. You could write on the back. I've put lines on the back. It's just a little postcard. This is one of Tim's little, out of his new line. Well, it's not real new. This is just a tag that I made, and then I just stamped on the top of it that goes in there. We're about to the end. I really like it. This is a piece of ledger paper that I stamped the bird on. And there again, we're at the middle, and I also embossed that. You can close it up or leave it as is. This is another digital stamp that I used. It is digital, and I did the stamping, and of course it's with archival ink, and then I coffee dyed the paper, and oh, just come out. But you can print on coffee dyed paper. This is the Cartier postcard that I stamped. This is a piece of the brown paper that I stenciled. And we have paper. We have another King Henry VIII, Part 1. And paper. Here's another little brown piece. I didn't do anything to that one. Sorry. And this I just stenciled on the back part of the hotel. And then there's plenty of just, and it's all in handwriting. These are all original. And just coffee dyed papers. And then we're at the back with the calligraphy paper and the doily in the back. Now the very back, I made a pocket. Now the pocket, I think, is either Wendy's journaling or Yvonne's inspired me. This is an envelope folded up, and on that envelope I have put book page here and stamped the bird. See, you can put something in the back, or you can put something in here. I put some of Edith Holden's paper there with a flower with some I Am Rose's rosebuds, and this is I think that's probably Michael's. This is Tiffany and Tiffany and Company, and it's upside down. Stamp on just a tag that I made from. No, this is Tim Holtz's tag, and on the back, and then I just stapled some. It was out of my Sorry Silk bundle, but I don't. If it's Sorry Silk, it didn't quite feel the same. I just stapled it on top. So this can go down in the back all the way. And then the little tag. Now this is another graphic 45 that I have cut out designer paper, which is Tim's, with Sorry Silk. And it has a garment pin with a little charm on it. And then this is one of Tim's cards that I just stapled some Sorry Silk on the top to make a little tag. So there in the back is back to the book. You can see the stain. Now, I don't know, is there again, the Caine Mutiny. I don't know if you've ever read the book. I saw the movie, and it was derived from World War II. I forget what his name is. The book plate that I use is just a normal metal book plate, and it came with screws, which we don't use, and I didn't want to use, I didn't want to use the thing with legs. I took grommets. I took little grommets and my crocodile, and I secured those little grommets, and I printed the journey in old typewriter print on my computer, cut it out. Now it's all glued down. You can't slide anything in and out. Glued it down real well with Fabri-Tac, glue. And as I say, you can see. I mean, it's old, but it's sturdy. Now the front and back was really sturdy. It was the spine. And I didn't want to lose it. The other one I did, I almost lost the spine and had to redo it a different way. And I didn't want to do that to this. So this, as I say, it's real sturdy, and it's certainly secured and with Tyvek. I hope you liked it. I love it. I think it turned out real well. It is a chunky monkey, as you can see, but that's okay with 4 signatures. I will have this on capturedonpaper.com, my not Etsy store, but it's a consignment type store, and I will offer this within the next few days. Any questions, please ask me down below. I'm more happy to answer. If you're not following me, subscribe. I would appreciate it, and I'd appreciate a thumbs up on this. It is a little longer than that normal, but this was a little bigger book. And as I say, any questions, my name is Gwen. Go to capturedonpaper.com, and up in the search, just type in Gwen, and it will pull up my offerings. Now, this will be on the first page that you pull up, and maybe the one I just did a flip through last week. So they're both of them may be on there. So the upshot is, and all the cost of my books do include the shipping in the continental United States. I do apologize to my European friends, and I do have them, but that gets a little salty, as you know. Thank you for joining me today, and have a great rest of your coming week. And if you have any questions, please ask, and I'll be happy to answer them if I can. I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much.